Hey guys, we are back with another AMA, and today we have
Gribbly.
Yeah, and today we're gonna answer your community questions, guys. And thank you again so much for the amazing questions. Gribbly, you'd like to ask or mention to the audience out there?
Yeah, you and I were just talking about this. I wanted to start because like some people tease me a lot. You know, when I go on Discord or I go on Reddit, I see people teasing me, going like, "Hey, when we do the AMAs, you know, what Gribbly says is it's always like, oh, maybe, and oh, maybe we're thinking about this, or maybe that's a good idea, you know." And so I kind of wanted to talk about that because, look, it's true. I do say that all the time. Like a lot of the questions, and I know, like I looked at the questions. I'm going to say it a lot today. A lot of the things today are going to be like, huh, that's interesting. Let's talk about it a little bit. But I just kind of wanted to kind of say, like, you know, that's kind of the way these AMAs have to work. Like, we ask for questions on any topic, and we always want to be able to talk about anything that people are thinking about.
Especially like just you know, we don't want to like ignore the questions that you guys ask a lot of times. It's kind of like a pool of ideas. So at least I think acknowledging that your questions and not like ignored or anything like that. So we can't confirm it unless it's like seriously 100% we can confirm it. So just letting you guys know that.
Yeah, that's true. That's also, like I always try and be like, if we're going to say, yes, we are doing this right now, I always want that to be true, you know? And then even then in times where I've said we're going to do this and then it takes longer than we expect, I always want to be just really transparent about that.
We really do appreciate all the questions you guys keep sending in. Keep sending them in. Just be aware that it won't be like a definite yes or no. So...
Right.
Yeah.
Low expectations is my middle name here.
Yeah. Oh. Before we start, well, we did start earlier, but how's your day and how have you been doing?
Let me see. Day's been pretty good. I can't remember if we talked about this last time, but I'm fully vaxxed, so that's amazing.
Yes.
Like
me too. I got fully vaxxed Monday.
And
woo!
Amazing. So so that's been kind of crazy. So I've actually been starting to go back to the office in Seattle a bit more often and kind of seeing people a bit more. That's been really fun, really nice just to kind of like meet people, see people. So that's been been making a big difference. Other than that, just busy, you know, we're building lots of cool stuff, keeping me out of mischief.
All right. Our first question comes from Banana Boy 404. He asks, what happened to Rec Room YouTubers creators getting special cheer badges? This would definitely help with the problem of impersonation. I saw a Canny post on this. It was very high.
Yeah. So I think we've seen this one on the Canny post, you know, and I think this one just kind of remains in the backlog of something we're interested in doing. We actually are very interested in kind of building up the ability of our creators to kind of have kind of custom things that they can give out and kind of have badges and things like that. So definitely something we want to do. Kind of on that list of like, definitely interested in it, not something we're actively working on right now.
Okay.
But we are aware of that Canny post, and that's definitely something we can see adding in the future.
Okay, that's great, because sometimes I go to the rec center and instead of people saying, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" and people are like, they point at me and they check. So that's how they read me all the time. But yeah, totally understandable. Thank you so much for the question there.
Oh, by the way, you know, so I'm trying to think of like, you know, if I'm going to be vague in my answers to questions, I'm going to try and give out some more useful information as we go along. So just for people who are watching the video, something to be aware of is we're going to experiment pretty soon with instead of pointing at people to get their profile, you're going to point at their name to get their profile. So the name tag will actually be a targetable area.
Oh, very cool.
And you actually like click on there to kind of bring up. And so if you want to like do friends or invites or reports or just look at their profile, you can just look at their name tag.
That's pretty unique. I like that idea. All right, our next question comes from Notorious VR. He asks, will there be an outside to rec center? I think it would be a really cool idea where people could hang out so we are not inside all the time. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's a really fun idea. And actually, like, players who've been with us for a while will remember that we actually have opened up the outside of the rec center at least once, maybe twice. We did a winter snow fight battle out there one time. That was really, really fun.
Yeah.
So the way we think about so rec center, actually we've been actively thinking about, I think I've teased this a few times in a couple of videos, we're kind of thinking about ways to kind of get some more activities in there and kind of play around a little bit more with the contents of the rec center. We're not thinking of like redoing the layout, but one thing that we're trying to think through is like the rec center is pretty big and you know, and like we want to make sure that like you find people and it's kind of easy to hang out with people. And so a concern with just opening up the outside would be that everyone would get kind of really spread out and like you wouldn't run into people as much as we want. But so I think rather than open up the outside just, you know, for forever and for good, we'll kind of keep doing it more for special events. And I think the next thing you'll see us do in the Rec Center is kind of experiment with some kind of crazy and more interesting things in the Rec Center, and we might experiment a little bit with kind of the layout of the doors and where they lead. Might just kind of experiment with that stuff a little bit. So we're actually going to get a little experimental with the Rec Center over the next couple of months.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, because people are always talking about like when's the Rec Center can be updated. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's pretty exciting. Yeah. Dingboy01 asks, any plans on updating the community board with the new UI, and maybe after that bringing it to Quest 1 and Quest 2?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, plans would be overstating it because as I said at the start of the video, that's not something that we're actively working on right now or planning to do like next. But definitely as we kind of go through, as I mentioned, this is probably 6-9 months ago now, we were talking about, hey, we're going to start rolling out a new UI system. You'll see it appearing in the watch. We're going to be doing a bunch of it in the Maker Pen soon. That's kind of the next big thing we're doing we're actually pretty soon we're going to redo the home menu. So the default menu of the watch will be the new style. So anyway, so slowly but surely we're kind of going through and updating everything to the new UI style.
Ooh.
Cool. And that will include the community board. We'll probably re-choose some of how that community board works. I really would like to make it like more of a focal point in the Rec Center, like have kind of more useful information there and kind of have it be a place where you can make some, get some information about, creators you should know about or rooms that you might want to visit and stuff like that. We'll probably do that with RIUI. And I think when we get it to RIUI is our internal name for the new UI system. Once we have it on that new system, it should be possible to turn it on for Quest and Quest 2 because one of the big reasons, one of the reasons for the updated style is that it uses way less transparency. And transparency is a very expensive feature to render, and so the Quest will be much, much happier with it.
Sutton Kelly, he asks, some of the mics on the headset like Quest 2 and PSVR sound clear on games other than Rec Room, but doesn't sound clear in Rec Room. So is this a bug or is it normal?
Yeah. So that's good feedback, and actually I'd love to get the specific other games that they're referencing so that we can compare and contrast, because we think we do have some bugs in our voice chat that kind of causes some kind of bad quality from time to time,
right?
And so that one we are kind of actively tracking, kind of poking and prodding at, trying to figure out how to make it better. So any hints you can give us of like, hey, compare the voice chat in VR chat or in whatever other game we should be looking at. I'd be really curious to compare and contrast. Because there's no reason why we shouldn't just get the full quality of the Quest mic or whichever other headset mic or whatever mic you're using. And if we're not, then that's definitely we're doing something wrong, which is entirely possible. We do a lot of things wrong.
But no, I actually, guys, so please leave in the comments down below what kind of games you guys are referencing on audio mics. We are very
tell us what's the best mic quality in a multiplayer game that you hear that's like something roughly comparable to Rec Room. There's a bunch of people having voice chat. Like, tell us which ones to look at for the best possible quality, so we can go be jealous and go, why doesn't our sound as good as that?
From Coco Fox Official, he asks, is it a possible of there being an offline version of Rec Room?
Yes. So that is a really, really interesting thought. So that's definitely something we've considered. And so like I say a lot, I don't want to set your expectation that we're going to do it like tomorrow. That is something we would really love to have. Certainly as we, when we first bought Rec Room to the phone, and it's something that you're like carrying around, and like maybe you've got it on a plane or maybe you're on the bus. This was kind of pre-COVID thinking. So when we're all back on buses a bit more, it'd be really nice to have an offline mode. So if let's say you just don't want to use data, or maybe you're in a subway and you don't have signal for a while, or you're on a plane and you can't use data, or it's you got to use Wi-Fi but it's $800 million an hour. It'd be really nice if you could at least do some things in Rec Room in an offline capacity. Like the bare minimum would be you can be in your dorm room and you can work on customizing your dorm or building inventions or something like that, or maybe you can go to a room that you've got saved. Obviously a pretty complicated technical feature, a lot of kind of complications. It's definitely not crazy. It's definitely something that we can do, and it's really something that we would love to have as part of the app. So I think there's a bunch of other stuff we'd like to do first. I think we'd like to focus a bit more on perf and load times and just kind of like optimizing some things first. But definitely on the roadmap for something we really, really think it would be very cool to support, so that when you don't have access to data, you can still do building and stuff like that. Obviously, you can't hang out with other people when you're offline in that way, but no reason you shouldn't be able to do some things.
I mean, like sometimes, like you don't have access to like Wi-Fi to that with a $10 million Wi-Fi. I don't know what kind of Wi-Fi that is, but just in case you know.
That's airplane Wi-Fi, Harry. I think I've gotten airplane Wi-Fi one time in my life, and I was like so shocked at how expensive it is that I've never done it.
Really? Is that a thing? I have no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, you get they have like this Wi-Fi you get on the plane, and it's like $4 million.
Jeez.
Oh, look at this little creature.
Oh, what is that? Is that it's a mouse. Ah.
It's like a little mouse.
Are you scared of rats or mouses by chance?
Nah, love them.
You really? Oh, okay. What about snakes?
Nah, I'm fine. Like I grew up in Australia. Like there's just
there's like everywhere.
I
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm totally fine.
Our next question comes from XX Epic Knights. He asks, will there ever be foods with special effects? Example, if you eat a chili, your mouth should be set on fire, and you can use water bottles to remove the effect. That's hilarious.
That is fun. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think we'd come up with that exact idea, but we all loved it. So that one we passed around the team, and everyone got a good chuckle out of that one.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I think that one's where we'll just say, hey, let's put that one on the list. Everyone was tickled by the idea of you could put the fire out with the water bowls. So fun idea. I forwarded it on to the team who makes things. They're still kind of recovering from the coffee, which I was very excited about. Like, man, we got coffee in the rec center.
That's great.
So I live on caffeine.
Really?
Much to the horror of my doctor. But yeah, I'm a caffeine fiend, Harry.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm excited about the coffee. But yeah, that's a really, really fun idea. And so yeah, the team has that on the list. I don't know if they'll get around to doing it, but they love the idea.
What is the best coffee in Seattle in your opinion?
The best coffee in okay, so I mean, it's a very complicated topic because I'm very territorial about my coffee, and I happen to believe that Melbourne coffee in Australia is the world's greatest coffee.
Okay.
So if we're going to limit it to the inferior tier of Seattle coffee, I think Cafe Vita would be. That's the one I'd pick out as probably my favorite.
Oh, really?
Cafe Vita is really great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
do a nice The Seattle, in my mind, Seattle verges towards a darker roast than I'm really personally comfortable with. But you do you, Seattle. You do your thing.
Our next question comes from AR25411. He has 3 questions. So one is, are you going to support the Deca move anytime soon?
So no, I don't think we are. Like typically, we really focus on hitting the broadest array of devices we can. So like custom hardware, like the Deca Move, unless we basically don't plan to be the early adopters of that kind of thing. Like we think it's really cool. We love people experimenting with those kind of things. And if we see them getting like really, really broad adoption, I think we'll get interested in that. But yeah, it's not high on our priority list at all to support custom peripherals and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for the question on that one. Number 2, he asks, have you ever considered to add a 2-factor authentication system? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we have thought about it. So yeah, I definitely say that's on the roadmap for the security team. I don't know when we'll do that, but definitely some internal folks want that. We got some folks on the team who are very security conscious, and we always want to make sure people are staying safe. So yeah, on the roadmap. I don't want to give you a timeline on that, but definitely we've thought about it. Yeah, and I think in the future at some point we'll add that as an option.
Our next question he asks is, will there be a report system that put in cheeks on the selling on copyright music?
So we actually already have that. So we have, maybe we can put, we have a place on Happy Fox where, we ask people to report if you find an invention that's selling copyrighted material, like music or anything like that. Please report it, and and we'll take that down under the DMCA takedown law. So there's basically Happy Fox. We have a place to report that stuff, and we'll take action on it.
AuxVR, yes. Will there ever be a revitalization on report moderation system? Perhaps only allowing players to use a certain level file reports, or limiting the number of reports a person can make?
Okay, yeah, all right. So yes, thank you for the feedback. So couple of things on this. So one is, people might be surprised to realize how many adjustments we're making to the reporting system just all the time.
Yeah.
We are constantly tweaking, we're constantly tuning, we're constantly watching what's going on and making adjustments both small and large. So we're definitely tweaking and tuning all the time. For the specific idea of limiting reports to certain levels and above, that is is something we've thought about for sure, but are not likely to do. The concern there is if certain players don't have the ability to report, it kind of flips around and makes them the potential target for harassment.
I see.
So we do have ways of kind of monitoring for mass reporting and looking for abuse of the reporting system, and we do take action when we detect that. So not to say our systems are perfect, but we are constantly keeping an eye on that. So yeah, rather than limiting certain people from reporting, we would rather invest in kind of monitoring for abuse and inappropriate use of the reporting system and kind of shutting it down at that end.
Okay.
But thank you for the suggestion.
This question comes from Dingboy01. He asks, will we ever get an option to share a camera to upload private pictures directly to rec.net? It would be really nice for people who want to take pictures for a surprise project without it having to be quickly go into rec.net and manually make a pictures private.
Yeah, so yeah, great suggestion. Definitely something we want to do. I would kind of group this into something that's way overdue is an overhaul of the camera roll. Like we just got to give you a better camera roll so when you take photos, it's a bit more like your phone. You've got them all on there, and then you can like go back to a photo you took a year ago and like share it with someone. So yes, we got to get to that. I'm not sure exactly when, but man, we want this so bad. We want this so bad.
Oh, for sure. Thank you so much, Dingboy, for the question. Speaking of Dingboy, he has 2 questions again. Dingboy01 asks, will we ever get a different shaped glass in the future? Oh.
No. Hang on. Let me answer.
Whoa. Oh, God. I didn't really jump the high.
I got a great... I'm out of here. This is a great jump. Okay, sorry. Let me answer that question properly. So no, at least not anytime in the near future.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I know people want different shapes glass, and I think I mentioned a couple of AMAs ago when we were talking about the glass coming out. We did initially attempt a much more sophisticated version that would be more of a glass material. We ran into some memory constraints and some performance constraints with that. Just that the solution just wasn't really working out the way we wanted it to. So we ended up going way deeper and doing some other things. In the interim, we know people wanted to do transparency and have a glass kind of effect. So we did the glass prop. Yeah, like unlikely. Now, it's not crazy to think that we could support some other shaped glass props. So if you're just like, hey, I just want a sphere or I just want a triangle, maybe we could do some additional glass props beyond just the cube. That is not impossible, but a general purpose glass material is not going to happen in the near future. So yeah, maybe I can say this. I never get to say this about YouTube stuff, Harry. I'm going to take over your job for a second.
Okay, sure.
Maybe leave a comment saying if if we were going to do like 1 or 2 more glass shapes, which ones would be really important?
Yeah.
Because yeah, that is a possibility. We could potentially do a couple more literally glass shapes, but a general purpose glass, you can make anything glass, is not anytime soon.
When we have ice cream cones as a consumable, it'd be really cool thing to come into the summer update. Oh, that's pretty nice.
It would be it would be a cool thing for the summer. That's a great idea. I think so again, like with the like with the previous one, we were talking about the chili peppers and all that kind of stuff.
That's hilarious.
I took that to the team. They love it. It's on the list. I think everyone loves the idea of ice cream. I said I live on coffee. I live on coffee and ice cream, basically.
Oh, really?
If I could just have those 2 things. Oh man.
What?
Ice cream is my kryptonite, Harry.
Is it really? We have to ask you, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? That's a good question.
Well, okay, gets a little complicated, okay, because I don't eat dairy.
Okay.
I'm a complicated eater. Like I eat vegan. I'm also a celiac, so I can't eat gluten, literally.
Oh, okay.
I grew up as a kid, could never eat bread, could never eat pizza. So I eat kind of like, I'm a very weird eater. But I love ice cream, and so couple of things like so what was it called? There's this new. All right, so this is kind of amazing. There's if you go onto my Twitter, at Gribbly, I'll pin this in case people want to check it out. I live tweeted checking out this amazing vegan ice cream that is like, it's basically they engineered dairy protein. Whoa. So it tastes identical to like real dairy protein, but there's no animal products. What? Super amazing. It was like incredible. Yeah, it was real. I'll pin this tweet so people can check it out. It's called Good Robot, or I can't remember the name of the brand.
Oh,
it was
that's
like something
cool.
robot.
That's awesome.
And it was crazy. Anyway, but if I have to pick a favorite flavor, there's a plant-based ice cream shop here in Seattle called Frankie and Joe's that is just amazing.
Oh wow, okay.
And they have this ice cream. They have this ice cream that's called Date Shake, and it's basically like if you ever had like a date smoothie,
No.
Oh my god, it's like ice cream that oh my god, it's amazing. But if you want a more traditional ice cream flavor, a flavor that's big in Australia, that is harder to find in America, but you can find it, is rum and raisin. Rum and raisin is just like perfect.
Whoa, you are like the ice cream connoisseur. That sounds amazing. It really does. It really does.
Oh damn, I love ice cream.
I was expecting like some like vanilla swirl or something like that, but no, you went like really deep into it. That's awesome. I love that. That's really great.
You know, I will say, if you want to compare ice creams, if you want to be like, we'll try it, like, you do want to compare just a straight vanilla, in my opinion, because that's kind of like you got nothing to hide behind with vanilla ice cream. It's like just the simplest flavor. Yeah. And then it's all about texture and it's all about mouthfeel.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Oh
exactly.
my god.
We love that. And if you guys
don't get me started, Harry.
Don't get me started. Leave down in the comments, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? Sorry, we can talk about food all day. Sorry.
This has been Apple and Ice Cream Talk with Harry and Gribbly.
All right, so next question comes from Tez Eport. He asks, will we ever see the ability to change the numbers on the back of the jerseys, like letters in the jackets?
So that is a fun idea. So probably not. So I talked to the art folks about this, and they were like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. We've definitely thought about it. It's actually a little bit perf intensive to kind of rebuild the avatar clothes in real time. So not something we want to do in the avatar system. You can do stuff like that in costumes, and so we'll be doing some costume updates pretty soon, making some kind of new features available in the costume system.
Okay.
And you can always make custom numbers and stuff like that in the costumes. So that's always an option.
What do you think is a popular number? That's a really
87,
good
question. 87. Obviously. Well, I do have a all right. I'll give you a good trivia question. I do have a favorite number, Harry.
Do you really?
All right. This is all right. Actually, let me give the people a game design tip. All right. So I've been a game designer for a long time. Been in the game industry a long time. I want to tell you something. There is a magic number in game design, according to me, right?
Ooh,
I'm not sure everyone would agree with this, but the magic number is 3. Like, as a designer, if I'm ever not sure about, like, how many things should we have, how many levels should this have, or how many, like, difficulty levels do we want to put in, or how many speeds should this have, I always start with 3. If I don't have a reason to make it anything else, always start with 3. And you want to know why 3 is the number, Harry?
Why is that?
How many times do you jump on Bowser's head to kill him?
Oh, that actually, that's hilarious. I like that. It is 3. Yep.
It is the right. 3 is always the right number. So if you're making a game, out there and you need a number, consider 3.
Yeah, because 3 is very well balanced, right? Anything more than that, I feel like
because it's because 1, you don't want 1 because then there's no choices or options, and then 2, it's too binary. It's like black, white. You got nothing, no range there. But then 4, what am I going to do with 4? That's too many. It's clearly 3 is the right number.
Okay, well that's actually a really good trivia. I like that. Oh, let's go! Yes. Sad Public 52. Yes. Hello there. I'm commenting to ask when will we be able to print pictures off Red.net, because I remember in an older AMA that it was being worked on. Will there be a photo album on a backpack so we can select the photos?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Yeah, don't know exactly when. We talked about this with the previous question. We want this so bad. So so we want to do a photo album where you can go back, print out old photos, share our old photos, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to take a while, but it's coming.
From Big Jesus asks, gonna fix the invisibility bug soon? That's a tough one. Yeah.
So I talked to QA about this one, and QA's so our QA team is wonderful. They are awesome game developers. But they said this is our white whale. We're well aware of the invincibility bug. It affects the Rec Royale laser tag. Some players kind of just aren't able to be KO'd. So it's a pain in the butt. It's a giant pain in our butt. The basic thing is we have not been able to repro it in the development build so that we can actually pin down what's causing it. So we just continue to look for it. If anyone's got clues on how to make it happen, we're as frustrated as you are. It's a super annoying bug, and yeah, like I said, QA said this is a white whale, and there's nothing more than we would like to find this one and squish it. But yeah, still working on it.
All right, guys. Thank you guys again so much for joining us on the latest AMA. We really appreciate all the great questions you guys had. Is there anything you want to close off with, Gribbly?
No, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for playing. We love you. We love having you being part of the community. Please be excellent to each other. And Harry, it's always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, no, it's always really fun having Gribbly with us, guys. So if you guys have any questions or any concerns, please look down on the links that we listed down there. And we really appreciate all the feedback from you guys. So yeah, other than that, guys, I just want to say, since you're becoming a YouTuber, can you say leave a like, comment, and subscribe for Everything Rec Room?
You know what to do, people. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that whatever button you meant to smash.
Oh, there we go.
It was so close, right?
That was good. No, that was great, guys.
Yeah.
Leave a like just for.
I'm getting better every time.
Yeah.
I'm getting better every time.
Gribbly's becoming a vlogger.
Be an influencer before you know it. That's right.
No, thank you guys again so much for the about 152,000. So we'll see you guys very soon. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Peace.
Bye, folks.